This guy. Welcome to the fourth installment of Wrestling Hypothesis Extra, the secondary show of the very own Wrestling Hypothesis podcast, here for your Wednesday, August 11th, 2020. I'm DAB. Of course, joining me this week is Richard.
Hello, everyone.
Ricardo.
Suplex City, baby.
Yes, decked out in that Suplex City background.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, man. This guy, what do we do with him? And Michael is back joining us again on Extra for the second week in a row. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? Happy to be here.
Great. Happy to have you on here. But before we get started, well, I got to say this, guys. You guys know the drill. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on the series whenever we drop throughout the week. If you haven't done so already, you can check out episode 30 from this past week. Great episode we did there, or any of our older episodes over in the archives using any of the platforms we are available on, as well as visiting our own website, anchor.fm/wrestling-hypothesis. Richard, what do you got for us this week, man?
So, last week, Raw Underground was born. Well, Shane McMahon discussed what Raw Underground is, pretty much like MMA style fights within the WWE roster. And then there was, excuse me, on the side, there was 3 scandalous women dancing across the board and stuff. So Alundra Blayze did not like this one bit at the fact that why is there scandalous cloud women dancing around the area when she knows that WWE has had a long history of women being just like that. When just not too long ago, you started Women's Evolution, and you guys decided to cease and desist to portray women like that. And a lot of people did not like the way that they were portraying the women, especially Alundra Blayze.
Okay, so I'm with Alundra Blayze 100% based on what went down, right? We are in a generation where everything is critiqued very, very heavily in the wrestling industry. The fact that they went back to their old roots on how to discriminate, low-key, I won't say discriminate, but like
Portray.
Exactly, that's a better word, thank you. How they portrayed their women in their roster was not cool at all. Raw Underground, as of right now, I have no idea what that is. I haven't even checked it out yet, but I don't even bother to look at it because it's like a bootleg underground version of the UFC as far as I'm concerned. Or like you have Raw Underground looks like looks like one of those DVD UFC type movies that you found like back in the day, right? Like it's so boring, it's so clad, it's so it's not even their type of style. It's not even in their style. But in terms of the women, it was not cool. I did not like it one bit. Alundra Blayze has every right to be upset because it makes WWE look like complete hypocrites in terms of how they portray their women. I hope they do not do this again. They better not do this again. I'm telling you right now, they better not. Right? If they do, we got a problem.
Mike, you got any comments before I go ahead?
Well, yeah, this already happened for the second week, the Underground. And I would like to say that it's really unnecessary to put all these women, dancing in the stage. It just is WWE's way of saying that we discriminate women and we're gonna step into our old roots and do it again. And it was just, I believe it was unnecessary to do that. It was just not needed and just gonna cause more problems than solving any solutions that has to come. And I feel like it is going to happen a couple more weeks, or maybe for the rest of this year, to be honest.
I don't know about that, man, because from what I captured on Raw this past week, they didn't really have any female dancers this time around. So I guess they kind of got the message, just scrapping that idea the first weekend. So I guess they're getting the message. But just to get my takes in on it, I don't know. Alundra Blayze she struck me as someone who's like so bent out of shape about this whole thing and WWE doing it. But if you pay close attention, guys, you look at other organizations like UFC and boxing and think that WWE got the idea from them. They presented their non-fighting women and exploited their sexuality like that for a long time now. And I'm not saying this is a great idea and everything, because I'm not in any way supporting this, but sex sells. That's just the way the business goes. And even the most ardent supporters of feminism can agree to that, to an extent at least. And like I said, I'm not advocating that's a great thing at all, but this is a company we're dealing with that truly does not care about the women to book them like a legit division. So this can't really be surprising to anybody.
Well,
And even
here's why I kind of disagree with you, because it is surprising. Because like they made. I'm gonna bring back Evolution for a reason, right? Evolution was a pay-per-view only for the females to generate their talent and to accept the women as obviously wrestlers. But the fact that you went back to portraying women as like as you show like referees, like, you know, similar to basically like what you said, like if it was the UFC fight, like round 1, round 2, etc., like
sure.
that's not WWE style. That's not their
That's
style.
not WWE style, but how do you explain Raw Underground, something completely new for them?
I get it, but like the thing is, like, the fans wouldn't want to see that, because like if they do that again, it's gonna possibly raise eyebrows to think about if they might go back to what they used to do, and nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. That's why they got criticism of what they've done this past Monday all over Twitter, right? And like that's why nobody wants to see it. Even I don't want to see it. That's not necessary.
Listen, don't get me wrong. I completely agree with you there, man.
Yeah.
But you got to keep this in mind. So think about the company we're dealing with. Like I just said, this is WWE we're talking about here. If you remember,
I get it,
last year, if you recall, there was an episode they had a segment on Raw where some producer, television producer, whatever, working backstage, walked into a room and they showed full camera Alexa Bliss like naked. They do this. They do this kind of thing, man.
Whoa.
Just last year this happened.
Whoa, hold on. Was it accidental or was it intentional?
It was obviously intentional. Obviously,
okay,
they wouldn't have taped that or something or aired it live.
But the thing is, how long has Raw Underground been going on?
2 weeks.
2 weeks now.
Have they done this for 2 weeks?
What, the women dancing?
What do you mean, the dancing?
Yeah.
It was just
the
1
first
week.
Okay.
The first week, yeah.
Okay.
Then they scrapped it because they probably thought twice of it.
Now, for what I would say, based on your example, Abba, is like I don't know if I could recall back then about like Alexa Bliss or whatever. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know when that happened. I don't even have recollection of that happening at all, right? And like, I obviously don't. It was based on the way you tell me that, it might be accidental. I highly doubt it was intentional.
Well, what do you mean when you say accidental or intentional? Like, did they mean to book that segment and air it?
You know, I'm saying like it's like some. I don't know if it just like happened out of nowhere and like they just bring it back at the last minute. But like,
yeah, it happened. Yeah, dude, it happened out of nowhere. But it was a segment they planned on doing. They do this, man, from time to time. They exploit their women's sexuality throughout not every episode, but from time to time they still go back to their roots, like you guys were saying.
Okay, fine. But I would say this, just to end it right here. I would just like I wouldn't. It's unnecessary. It's completely unnecessary.
Sure.
And Raw Underground is a fucking joke. It's a complete joke and like a bullshit version of the UFC. And it's really pathetic, right?
Exactly. Like, who on earth will be watching Raw Underground if they have the UFC? That's legit sport.
Exactly. Me personally, for Raw Underground, I don't care for it either. Honestly, I don't think it's even going to last that long to begin with, because I'm like, you guys. So you mean to tell me you would rather have Raw Underground instead of pushing the stars that you don't even have on TV to have them have a great opportunity, or even do something else or stuff like that? Like, you could start rebuilding your tag team division or even something like that. Like, you have better options to have more than just doing this Raw Underground bullshit.
Well, you got to think of it as a business standpoint, where they can add variety into having Raw Underground, having Raw, having SmackDown, and everything else. Underground is just an extra thing that they're adding.
Okay, true, but let's be real for like a second. do they really needed to do this? And
Bro,
the answer is no.
we all understand that they don't need to do this, but based on what Mike is saying, it's from a business standpoint, they're trying their best to bring attention to the show by bringing something
get the buzz
different.
going, whether it's good or
That's what
bad.
Mike is saying. We all know the obvious. We know that it's not needed. We know that they should be pushing more talent. We know that they have more superstars to work with. But the fact that they brought in Raw Underground was to bring different, was to get our attention. And honestly, it worked. That's why we're talking about it.
That's right.
All right. That's why we're talking about it. And it's working. Even though we might not like it, honestly, it's the attention of every other podcaster known to man that's talking about the WWE and wrestling in general. So we already know that. So it is what it is.
Yeah, this whole thing with Raw Underground, it's going to be, I guarantee you it's not going to stick around for too long because they're going to see it's not increasing ratings and the general interest just won't be there anymore.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So up next, this story I really don't care for, but next is that this YouTube sensation, Logan Paul, said on Twitter that he would like to have a pro wrestling match with any pro wrestling star there is. Like, so many people replied to what he has said about how he could fight them one-on-one, win the match and stuff like that, and so on and
People
so
like
forth.
who?
So, like, wrestlers from the independent scene, people like random wrestlers and stuff like that. Me personally, I don't really care about this. Even if it does happen, Logan is gonna lose. He's just doing this for publicity and for him to get noticed and shit.
Okay.
And stuff like that.
Go ahead.
But I'm saying to myself, you're like, didn't not too long ago the FBI just ransacked your house, but you want to worry about being in a match with pro wrestling when you need to put your main focus towards the FBI, because right now the FBI is on your ass.
Well,
when you're talking about a wrestling match.
Okay, Abba, do you mind if I speak for you? Like this
Go
quick?
ahead, man.
Okay,
Go ahead, man.
We don't give a flying shit about Logan Paul. Okay,
Yeah.
Logan Paul. Honestly, Don't get me wrong. Logan Paul is one of the most successful YouTube stars in the world. Everybody knows that. But every other wrestler in the independent scene, AEW, any jobber will beat his ass. Okay, and he said for $10,000. The majority of the wrestlers make more than $10,000 with any other promotion. Okay, they make more than him, arguably. Okay, we don't give a damn about Logan Paul. Any wrestler, I bet you, Santino Marella could beat his ass. Okay, and we don't even know where he's gone to. Okay, I don't give two shits about Logan Paul. Okay, let's move on. This shit is irrelevant. Okay, let's go.
Well, I wouldn't discredit Santino Marella like that, because the dude in real life is actually a pretty damn badass. Has his own gym.
He owns a gym. Yeah.
He's trained in MMA also.
I don't care. I'm
just saying, don't discredit Santino like that.
Well, okay, first of all, Santino's one of the worst wrestlers I've ever seen in my life. That's number one. Okay. Number two, he was there for entertainment purposes. Okay. He did not wrestle a lick. He can't wrestle for his life. Okay. Even he could beat Logan Paul. Okay. And that's saying something. Okay. Bottom line is, I don't give two shits about Logan Paul. But Richard, let's move on, please. This shit is gonna be tight right now. Let's go. Come on.
Okay, so the last one,
Come on.
No, man, you got us. You got us right there, man. You said your piece. That was pretty much what all our thoughts right there.
Wait, I'm gonna take over. I'm so dying. Take over.
Come on, man.
All right. All right. So there was while Richard just relaxes there, calms down from that laughing.
It's all good. Abba, you good? So Richard, he'll be fine. Richard will be fine.
Yeah,
Abba, let's go, bro. Let's go.
Yeah,
all right. So there was as you guys know, there's been reports going around. And photos that Chris Jericho and his band Fozzy have started touring once again throughout the country and in certain states and cities here and there, especially like the North Dakota, South Dakota area in the U.S. He's been touring again with his band Fozzy, and it's allowing audiences once again, which it's a given. Given why would you do a public concert in front of nobody? And there's just been a lot of divisive opinions on it, to say the least. And I figure we can pretty much discuss this ourselves and give our individual takes on it. And whether or not, I don't know if you guys think it was necessarily, if Jericho should be reprimanded for it by AEW or whoever else, or he should just be let go from it. Like, it just wasn't a big deal.
What you think, bro? Wait, I'm sorry, Richard. Abba, what do you think about it?
I'm gonna hand the reins over to our guest. Michael, what do you got?
Oh, no. I want to know you first. What do you think?
I'm going to go, and then I'll go after.
All right,
yeah,
cool.
What do you think, Abba?
I'll tell you what I think. Before I start, let me just preface my thoughts on the matter by saying this. There should have been no concerts to begin with around this time at all.
We agree.
And
there.
I don't know what his band's thinking through this whole thing was. I mean, you're in the middle of a global pandemic, and that has killed hundreds of thousands of people by this point, and you thought that throwing a concert and allowing people to attend it was a good idea? I don't think so. That being said, Jericho is definitely in the wrong for giving the go-ahead for his band to perform in front of an audience. I mean, and he has since come out trying to defend the idea of hosting a concert to begin with by saying that it was in South Dakota, and there aren't that many cases over there, so why the hell not? I mean, sure, if you want to look at it like that, but why be the reason for more cases to begin with in a particular area? It really doesn't make any sense. And from the footage I saw of these concerts taking place, a ton of people did turn up to the concert. And I'm not going to lie, it is the right to do so. So I know it kind of sounds like I'm going all over the place, but they did pay their money, and who are any of us to dictate how one spends their money after all? And no matter how much I believe it is an issue, it just won't change the fact that people want to go out and have fun. It's just a nature in all of us to do so. And if they believe they can protect themselves and others while being able to do exactly that, more power to them. Only issue is in this case was almost nobody who went to the concert did any of that. They weren't socially distancing. Most of them weren't wearing any face masks. And there were still swarms of people, regardless of what Jericho said, 50% capacity these concerts were at. It didn't change the fact that there were still a shit ton of people over there yelling and screaming all at once. So I would have not booked any concert right now. It just led to another instance of swarms of people attending and not protecting themselves as a result. And it's been a growing trend as of late, as videos and footage of other concerts here and there around the world have been resurfacing of full-on concerts with a full audience. They just don't care, it seems like.
Okay,
I would also,
what you think, bro?
Okay.
yeah, I would have to agree on Abba 100%.
Richard, open the lights. Open the lights in that room. It's pretty dark.
I would have to 100% agree with Abba because yes, he did a concert. Yes, he said that there was less cases, but less cases doesn't change the fact that we're still under a pandemic. Like, that don't mean shit now, because like you never knew like who was in their concert, and then the people that left the concert, they're gonna get the virus just like that. Like, he's not gonna get reprimanded by AEW, because when it comes to his band, Fozzy, and AEW, that's two separate entities. AEW has nothing to do with Fozzy. He's not gonna get reprimanded by them. So for Chris Jericho to hold his concert, he is wrong for that part. He is wrong for doing what he did. It is wrong I'm not saying it was wrong for the people to show up, but at the same time, if they knew they were getting themselves into, especially with being the pandemic, not sure if they had face masks on, but whatever, but they were playing it unsafe. So yeah, they were 100% dead wrong of having a concert, no ifs, ands, or buts.
Go ahead, Mike.
I would say that the organization of the concert was bad, but I would not blame Chris Jericho for. He may have created the whole idea of the tour and the concert in the first place, but I would say that the event producer or the managing director of said concert, the way that they organized the concert, how people were wearing masks and were not properly social distancing is at fault, because producers, they're supposed to supervise all the events and they're supposed to coordinate all of the stuff that's happening in a concert. And the fact that it was very disorganized is why people are arguing with it. And with Chris Jericho saying that it's in South Dakota, it's fine to do a concert in places like that because there's not a lot of people around the, especially in South Dakota. It's not like it's taking place in New York or Florida or California. Those states you can't do it because there's a lot of cases of the pandemic. So it's not really Chris Jericho's fault here. They could have done it. Concert is a good idea, but I believe that they could have done it in a better way, more organized way, more technical way to make social distancing good, for people to wear face masks and to stay away from one another, and they could still have fun, a great time at a concert.
Well, based on the COVID-19, I'm not going to disagree with any of y'all about Chris Jericho, that he shouldn't be having a concert. We all agree there, no question, right? But in terms of what he did, what Chris Jericho was saying is like, even though I'm going to have a concert, I am not solely responsible of the people that has COVID-19, right? By him saying that, him and his band Fozzy just like told the folks in, you said South Dakota, right? Wherever it was?
Yeah,
it was around
South
that
and
area.
North.
Okay, he practically said the people in South Dakota, he was like, look, I'm gonna have a concert in South Dakota, right? Whoever shows up, I am not responsible of you showing up and having COVID-19, possibly. That, because by saying that, he gave them the option to show up or not, which means he was also willing to do the concert with little amounts of people, if not no people at all, right?
Okay.
So like, but what I'm so pretty much, but I kind of agree with Mike. Say like it could have been better and stuff like that. But I look at it at a different standpoint. I think what he should have done, to be honest with you, right? I think he should have held a concert in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Like guys, when was the last time we saw a music concert in a wrestling promotion?
NXT TakeOver Portland.
Exactly.
NXT TakeOver Portland.
How long ago was that?
That was February. This year.
This past February?
This year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Imagine if Chris Jericho did a concert.
Wait, actually, no. Sorry. No. TakeOver in your house. Code Orange performed there.
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah,
was it?
Forgot about that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, fine. We'll take that. Whatever. Imagine if Chris Jericho did a concert in AEW, right?
Oh, he would do it.
I think he should
He would do it, hands down.
I think he should have done that rather than do a concert in South Dakota. No question. And here's how I view it. If he did a concert in AEW, number one, it would have brought thousands attention to AEW. Everybody knows, there's no question. It's a concert, okay? It's a concert. Who would not go to a concert in live television? And fellas, we just discussed of AEW potentially reaching 1 million, possibly.
Right.
If he had a concert in AEW, I'm telling you right now, it would have hit 1 million. No question, it would have hit 1 million, right? And nonetheless, it could have helped Orange Cassidy and Best Friends in that line of work into hyping up Orange Cassidy into messing up the concert. It would have helped Best Friends give them hype in terms of their beef with Pride and Powerful. It would have brought more eyes to AEW. That's what Chris Jericho should have done instead of holding a concert in South Dakota, right? Don't get me wrong. If he did it, he did it. And here's eyes of doing South Dakota. He was saying, I'm not taking blame of what the people did. I mean, what the people came to South Dakota earning COVID-19. But what he should have done in a business standpoint, and most importantly, I bet you Tony Khan and Cody Rhodes would have said, yes, go do it. Because if they want ratings, that's something that would have brought ratings.
Because
and they'd be open to doing it in a Jericho concert is because they can be on top of it. It's under their company.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And NXT has done that before because I remember around Halloween time last year, Poppy performed, and on that episode, they won the ratings. That episode, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes, but here's the difference. Here's the difference. I understand why NXT did that because they're looking at to hype their wrestlers. Here's the difference with this, and here's how
And the show.
AEW. Listen to me. Here's how AEW will win. It's Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho has been doing Fozzy for decades. He's been doing it since the Attitude Era. All right? He's been doing it for that long. And especially that theme song of his, bruh, everybody knows what theme song I'm talking about. I don't even need to mention it, okay? I don't even need to mention that theme song. Everybody in this podcast has that song, okay?
Yep.
That song is fire, okay? If you
Gotta love Judas.
Exactly. If he performs that song in AEW, I'm telling you right now, it's a 1 million ratings type of hit for AEW. That's what he should have done. I'll tell you something right now.
No, I think so too.
Chris Jericho doing Fozzy with Judas. I'm singing my ass off with that concert.
No, I think so too. I definitely agree with you there, man. I think that would have been a much more safe alternative than having it on his own time, at his own turf and his own band's turf at just any city out there in this country or in the world possibly.
Yeah, it would have been safer, and it would have been the clincher of how NXT can't touch AEW because AEW will reach a 1 million than NXT. Like, fellas, when was the last time NXT hit 1 million? When was the last time that happened?
They've never hit 1 million.
They never hit 1 million.
Exactly.
They've never hit 1 million.
Exactly. But the fact that they haven't, and if Chris Jericho did that, AEW would have beaten NXT. No question.
AEW only hit 1 million one time, and that was when it was last year when they debuted on TNT. That was their only time they hit 1 million.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. But it's about in a business standpoint, it's about separating the men from the boys, right? It's separating the men from the boys. If AEW does that, and I'm not gonna front, would not be surprised if they do it. If they do that, I'm telling you right now, the game, this shit is over. This shit is over. Between AEW and
but do you think that's going to be the
NXT?
real difference maker? But do you think that's going to be the real difference maker moving forward from that week on when they decide to do the concert?
No, it will validate a point. It was there. AEW will do whatever it takes, more than what NXT would do. You see what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Vince is doing NXT and that beef between Pat McAfee and Adam Cole. But at the same time, it's limited. It's censored. It's like. It's at plateau. Whereas,
that's just that's the WWE style for you.
No, exactly.
That's what you get.
Whereas AEW, look at them. At some point they're doing whatever it takes. Bro, they curse. They're fucking cursing. They're doing whatever it takes. They're like going out their boundaries just to do X, Y, and Z just to get ratings. I'm telling you, AEW will do that more than what WWE would do. And it will make WWE look dumb. It's like if Chris Jericho does a concert, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna do it too," and shit like that, and whatever. But it's gonna look weak. It's gonna make them look. They're gonna make them look weak doing a concert the next week. Go ahead.
No, go. No. That's it.
It will low key make them look weak, and it will make NXT look like their back is against the wall. That's what Chris Jericho should have done. Chris, AEW and Tony Khan will do it in a heartbeat. And I'm not gonna front. I will get a Chris Jericho Le Champion bottle, and I will drink that shit at the same time. We'll have his concert. Le Champion. Everyone should have a bottle, by the way. Any viewer who should have that. Any viewer that's listens that watches us, you should have a Le Champion champagne. That shit is fucking delicious. Okay, they should have that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you right now.
No, I can attest to that. That champagne is pretty damn good. Yeah, it is pretty damn good.
Okay.
But yeah, just to end it, just some final thoughts. But Ricardo, you kind of deviated from there a little too much from the main topic at hand. Like, do you think Jericho should let off easily with the whole thing?
I agree with you and Richard at the first time. I agreed with you. I agreed with you guys already. But I also brought up a point where on what he I agree with both of you in terms of
What's
saying
a
like
better alternative? Right.
no. Yeah, exactly. I agree with both you and Richard saying like he should have never done it. But I also gave like you said just now an alternative of what he should have done. You see what I'm saying? And I'm saying he should have done it at AEW. That's the only reason I brought that up.
Yeah, that's a money idea in the works. They just got to present the right opportunity for it.
Money.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll leave it at that for today. Thanks for checking out our 4th edition of Wrestling Hypothesis Extra. Like I said before, guys, follow us on Facebook or Instagram for any news updates we post on there, as well as any updates on our weekly show that you can catch on the weekends. We will be back for episode 31 this upcoming Sunday. So until then, have a good one, guys. Take care.
Deuces.
Take care.
Take care, guys.